Okay, just a little follow-up for you in terms of the orientation of the machine heads, we call them, for tuning on the guitar, to follow up with our tuning demonstration. The thickest, or the sixth string, is the on the top. I know, strange. Lowest sounding string. So that string is tuned by the machine head or the tuner closest to you on the top. Okay? So if I turn that tuning head away from me, I guess looking from the top counterclockwise, okay, that's going to tighten the string. And if I turn that tuning head, I think of it as towards me, which would be clockwise looking from the top, and that's going to loosen the string. Okay? As I move through the strings to the fifth and the fourth and so on, I move further out on the top, okay, all the way if there's 6 in a row on an electric, on an acoustic, or on a two-sided tuning arrangement on an electric. We go 6, 5, 4, so thick, and the next one, the next one. On the flip side, we start from the furthest side out. And the rotation changes around accordingly. So if I want to tighten my third string, I'm turning in towards me, clockwise from the top. I want to loosen, I'm going out counterclockwise, looking from the top. And then as I come in along the bottom tuners, I end up with the thinnest string being closest on the bottom. So that's how the tuning heads, or the tuning pegs, or the machine heads, I should say, are organized on the guitar. Okay, I've got the guitar plugged into a tuner here. This is a Korg chromatic tuner. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Again, I really recommend a chromatic tuner, and Korg make a very nice product. Anyways, we are going to try and tune my guitar, and right now it's trying to tune my voice, but we'll ignore that for the time being. Looks like I'm an F sharp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the thickest string on the guitar, okay, and that gives me a reading of an E. Now this is my thickest or my lowest string, okay, the sixth string, and I'm just going to intentionally change that a little bit. Now, the way the tuning heads are organized on the guitar, the closest one on the top, okay, is the thickest, or in this case, well, in all cases, the E string in standard tuning. So what I'm going to do, I just loosened that towards me a little bit. I guess that would be clockwise. And I'm going to now turn it counterclockwise, turning away from me, and you'll see the needle slowly going up to where I want it. Okay? If I continue turning, you'll see the needle going up, and you see that sharp light on the right-hand side, the red light. So I've gone too far, so I'm going to take that back. A little tip for you, it's a good idea to tune up to the note that you're tuning. So I'm going to intentionally go low again, and then go back up from the bottom to get my E in tune. Another little tip is to stretch or tug on the string. So having tuned it, if I just give it a gentle tug, okay, and then play it again, it's dropped a little bit. That stayed pretty well. I'm just going to tighten that up a tiny bit. Notice I just keep picking the string over and over to make sure I'm getting a good signal for the tuner. Okay. If I move to the next string, I'm looking for an A. And there it is. Now, just to show you what happens if the string is a fair way out, I'm intentionally loosening this string. Notice the needle drop down, and then at some point, all of a sudden, see it go over to the other side, but now look at the note there. That's a G sharp in the right-hand corner. So if I loosen this down, I can get a nice green light in the middle. Everything looks good, but I've just tuned my fifth string to a G sharp, and I certainly don't want to do that, at least not today. So I'm going to take that the other way. I'm going to take that needle up. It'll go all the way to the top, drop to the other side, and now I've got my A. Up I come to the middle, okay? Turning very slowly and gently, okay? We're not turning 3 turns, just bit by bit by bit. Okay? Looks good. I'm going to move to my fourth string D. Pretty darn close. Okay, again, I take this note, up we go. Oh, it turns to E flat. Now that's like D sharp or D raised up 1. So if I tune this to the middle, looks good, but it's the wrong note. So again, back I go, and there's my D. Okay. If you are tuning with an acoustic guitar, which I am actually, but mine fortunately plugs in, plugging in directly to the tuner is your best bet. However, if you're tuning an acoustic, have the tuner on your leg, close to or even touching the guitar, in my experience, seems to help. You can see the bottom left-hand side, there's the microphone there. That microphone needs to pick up the sound of the string, just the one string, clearly to be able to give you an accurate reading. Otherwise, you'll get false readings. So moving to the B, looks good. And here's my first string, E. And again, if you're tuning without a microphone, or sorry, if you're tuning without being plugged in with a microphone, that E string, you gotta hit it, pick it fairly firmly, okay, and make sure you get a good ring so the tuner picks it up. And that's pretty much standard tuning.